Hey guys, it's Whitney from Thanks for the Food here, and today's video recipe tutorial is going to be how to make scrambled eggs using bacon fat. Now, I know for some of you out there who are what I call fat phobics, you probably think bacon fat, that's really going to be, a lot of high cholesterol and really fatty and just greasy. But actually, using rendered bacon fat in your cooking will really liven up and really flake up your pie crust. It also, used in moderation, can just add flavor without adding a lot of extra calories. In this recipe though, to get started, we are actually only going to use half a teaspoon of baking fat for the whole recipe. I usually use about a half teaspoon to every 2 or 3 egg yolks. So for me, what I usually do is I crack 4 eggs. For 2 people, I usually crack 4 eggs and then take 2 of the egg yolks out. So that means that I usually end up with 4 egg whites and 2 egg yolks, and then I just beat that together. But that's just, to kind of cut out some of the fat and the cholesterol from the eggs, and then I can, feel a little bit better about having the bacon fat. But that's just what I like to do. If you want to do, 4 eggs, or you want to do 2 eggs, or however you want to do it, do what suits you. But again, we're just going to add half a teaspoon of bacon fat to a preheated pan. Now what I like to do is I basically turn the pan on medium-high, let it get warm, and then turn the hob completely off, and then just leave it on the hob, and then we cook the eggs with the residual heat. So to get started, we just add half a teaspoon of bacon fat. Now if you add the bacon fat to the pan and it just, it takes a while to melt, like this is really good because it's melting, but it's not just kind of sizzling up really fast. But if that happens to you where you add it and it just sizzles up too fast, that means that your pan is way too hot and you just want to take it off the hob and put it on another hob and just let it kind of cool down. But this is pretty much perfect. So you add the bacon fat and you basically let it melt completely like we just did. And then I've just whipped up again, since I'm only making this for myself, I've only used 2 eggs, and then 1 egg yolk has been taken out. So this is basically 2 egg whites and 1 egg yolk just beaten really well with a whisk. And I'm just going to add this to the pan. Now you see when we add it to the pan, we've got like these bubbles coming up, and that's basically what you want. You want it to bubble up, and it kind of it cooks a lot more around the edge than it does in the middle, and that's exactly what you want. That lets you know that your pan isn't too hot and it's not too cold. And then we just basically just fold these around, or just mix these around a bit, and as you can see, the eggs aren't sticking at all. For those of you who have ever had to clean a skillet that's had burnt scrambled eggs or any kind of eggs in them, you know that it's not fun. So the thing I love about using bacon fat is my eggs never stick, which is really, really nice. And also just using a touch of bacon fat. You don't have to use a lot. Like you see, we only use half a teaspoon. Just gives you that extra bit of flavor. I really like having eggs because I think they're just a good way to they're really inexpensive and they're full of protein. Excuse me, but they're also just really, nice. If it's just me, then I can, just crack open my 2 egg whites and my 1 egg yolk. Or if I'm making these for breakfast, or if I'm having a brunch or something, then, I can just kind of modify for what I need. Now, for those of you that like, fluffy, really fluffy scrambled eggs, and some people do, you want to add a little bit of milk to the egg mix before you pour it in, and then just keep stirring. I prefer my eggs a little bit, quote-unquote, harder, which is basically what we're kind of getting, because I haven't added water and I haven't added milk or cream or anything to this. But this is basically how the eggs turn out. And again, the hob is completely off. We're just cooking on residual heat. And that ensures that we don't burn the eggs, and that as well for somebody like me who likes their eggs cooked a little bit more thoroughly, then I can basically get my eggs to the place that I want them to be without leaving them on direct heat too long. And again, that just ensures that I don't burn them. So for me, this is just about perfect. I think another 5 to 10 seconds and I'll be ready to take these out. and add them to my tortilla because I'm going to make huevos rancheros for dinner tonight. Just something quick and easy. But thanks so much for watching. This is Whitney again from Thanks for the Food. And you can always find me on my blog channel, which is thanksforthefood.blogspot.com. I'm also on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and I'm on Pinterest. Check me out and see you guys again here on YouTube soon. Thanks. Bye.